So after tonight's edition of Smackdown Live, do we know definitively who's going to WrestleMania to face Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship? Let's discuss it. I want to thank everybody for coming back to the Riggs Beast channel. As always, let's go beast on that subscribe button. Let's go beast on that like button. And let's go beast on this Smackdown Live, which came to you tonight from St. Paul, Minnesota. So much to talk about tonight. So much to discuss. This is going to be a different show. We're going to kind of go around the board here. We can't really go in chronological order. We can't start with what happened last. We kind of got to go back and forth. Because this show, overall, was average. The matches were cut short by commercial. The show overall was average. But there were some major angles set up here, and some major things went down. So we got, like I said, we got to kind of go around here. So we're going to actually start with the AJ Styles versus Luke Harper match to determine the number one contender and who's going to go to WrestleMania to face Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship. The match itself was good. The match itself was very good. Only had one commercial break, which a common theme with the matches tonight was multiple breaks. But this match didn't happen at the end of the show. This match happened an hour into the show, which if you have inside wrestling knowledge or you kind of get how wrestling works, you knew something else was coming. At first, they booked this as the main event, and then it comes on midway through the show. You know something's up. The match itself. Styles is going to start tentative. Shitty-ass heel, big baby face. Makes sense. He's running around. He's trying to get away. Catches him with an enziguri from the outside. After the enziguri, then actually Luke comes back at him, hits a Pele kick. The crowd is kind of going split with the guys. Let's go Harper. Let's go Styles. Let's go Harper. Let's go Styles. Both these guys, well, Styles is over. He's the best in the company right now. Harper, however, is getting himself over in this recent angle and this recent run with the Wyatt situation and being involved with the title. They're battling back and forth in the ring. Harper is actually able to get Styles down on the apron. And then from the apron, he's going to do a senton over the top onto Styles. Crazy how athletic Harper is. He was a tremendous indie wrestler. If you know anything about his indie days, YouTube it. He was amazing, and I'm glad he's finally getting that chance to show it now in serious situations. AJ's going to get work near the announcer's desk to where Harper's then going to do a superseda onto Styles right near the announcer's desk. Now after this, they go to their only commercial break. When they come back, Harper's got him up and does a sit-down powerbomb 1-2 kick out. They fight back and forth. AJ's able to get a phenomenal forearm on Luke Harper. 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles wins, but he doesn't. On the 2, Harper gets his foot on the rope. Shane McMahon comes out, restarts the match. AJ looks frustrated. He looks pissed. He gets in Shane's face. Harper goes to do a super kick. Boom. Shane gets knocked out with the super kick. They work their way back into the ring. AJ gets Luke Harper down. 450 splash, 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles wins the match again. And as of this moment, AJ Styles is now set to go to WrestleMania to face Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship. But will it stay that way? You may not get that answer tonight. You may get that answer tonight. Let's discuss the rest of the show. So SmackDown is actually going to start with a Miz TV segment, and I can't lie. When I heard this was going to start the show, I had serious doubts. I've hated pretty much every Miz TV segment there ever was. They've always been throwaways, but you figured it had to do with Cena, and they had to get over this tag match that was coming, so maybe it would be good. So Miz is in the ring, and he calls Cena to come out. Cena comes out. And before Cena could talk, Miz stops him, says, cut his mic off. I have something I have to get off my chest. I have to get 10 years of frustration off my chest. Real quick, so Tom Phillips is there. You notice how Tom Phillips had basically no personality and was very somber? You didn't hear from him much on this show tonight, by the way, either. Getting back to the Cena Miz, had to throw that in there. Miz goes into how Cena cost him so many opportunities. He says Cena's word is gospel to higher ups. He manipulates people. He kind of compares him to a guy at a job. You probably know it. There's that guy that schmoozes with the bosses, that's always extra nice to people who are important in hopes of that promotion. Meanwhile, talks about himself as the guy who works 10 times as hard just to be the other guy. Well, he says he's not the other guy. He goes back to when they fought at WrestleMania 27 and how his legacy was going to be cemented from there. And then 2 weeks later, he says Cena manipulated the backstage to ruin it. They're really trying to bring in the internet aspect, the rumor aspect to try to get this over. I can appreciate that. Miz is basically then going to finish up by calling Cena out for going after The Rock about being Hollywood and how Cena's always there and The Rock wasn't. And now Cena's going to Hollywood and now Cena's not there. Basically calling him a hypocrite. And then gets on him as he's a parody of his former self. And his former self was a joke. I really like that line. I actually chuckled at that. And that he's not Super Cena anymore. That he's barely decent Cena. Then the Miz's final message before allowing Cena to talk was, he threw him over the top rope because he wanted Cena to feel what he felt for the last 10 years. Cena starts by saying that he's going to turn Miz's whole idea, whole theory against him. Goes to Miz, you really think this close to Mania, if I was pulling the strings, if I was doing all of this backstage politicking, that I would be standing across the ring from you? Hell no, he says. He goes, I'd be standing across the ring from The Undertaker. Again, I give them credit for trying as hard as they can to get people invested in this. And they're using the old rumor mill and the disappointment of not having Cena and Taker to try to get it to their advantage. And again, I can appreciate that. Nobody's still going to give two fucks about the match, but I can appreciate the attempt. Then he goes how The Miz tried to steal The Rock's electricity on the real world. He stole Ric Flair's figure four, Chris Jericho's gimmick when he came in, and what AJ Styles has been saying for 6 months, and Daniel Bryan's offense, and his yes chant, quotes Tropic Thunder as you're a dude playing a dude described as another dude, one of my favorite comedies of all time. Damn you, Cena, for pulling that out. Honestly, when Cena's head is in the game, his promos are top notch. They really are. You may hate him, but when he does a promo, when he's invested in something, they really work. And because Nikki Bella is going to be involved, he's invested in it. So this was a very good promo for a match nobody gives two fucks about. The last thing Cena says to Miz before he leaves is the next time we talk, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. He goes to leave. Maurice pulls him back and says, you don't leave until we tell you to leave. Does a funny line, the bigger the ego, the smaller the package. Going after the Cena package, that's a way to get people into it. The Maurice part of this was horrible, I can't even lie. Maurice then slaps him, Nikki Bella then comes out. Miz and Maurice run off. She says to Maurice, you mess with my man, I'm gonna break you, bitch. This went 20 plus minutes and I didn't even feel like it did. Again, the promo was great. Cena was good, Miz was good, Bella had a nice line, Maurice was cringe, but you can't have everything, right? So they're gonna follow that up with Becky versus Mickey 2 out of 3 falls. Becky's going to get the advantage right out of the gate, and then there's a commercial break. This is commercial break number 1 of this match. Back from break number 1, Mickey's now back on top. Becky gets back into advantage, hits her straight fire forearm. She goes for a T-bone suplex, though. She's reversed, where Mickey will get her head, drop it into the turnbuckle. Mickey then hits a DDT and gets the first fall. Commercial number 2. Back from commercial number 2. Lynch is then going to get a roll-up. Bliss is then going to come out. Distracts the ref while Lynch is going for a third roll-up. Mickey is going to end this match tapping to the disarmer after she went for a roll-up when the ref wasn't distracted. Becky countered it into that disarmer. Becky Lynch wins. They go to commercial right after this again. So 3 commercial breaks. 3. Within the span of 15 minutes. It kills the matches. This match wasn't half bad, but you miss most of it. You miss most of it because they were a commercial break. So how do you get invested in what is supposed to be the blow-off? I don't foresee this being the blow-off, but it was marketed that way. And how do you get into that when there's commercial breaks twice and then 1 right after, so 3 within the match? You can't get invested into a match like that. I understand the ad revenue dollars that they're bringing in from all these breaks, but they need to figure out a better way to introduce these breaks. You can either shorten segments by a minute or 2, Skim some of the matches that really people don't care about. A la tonight, Ziggler versus Cruz. That doesn't have to go 5 minutes. Make it 3.5. You can cut a minute or two off the 23 to 25 minute opening, and you can add breaks after segments. Break after each segment. This will allow you to keep the same ad revenue dollar while also not interrupting the matches that you're trying to get people invested into. Just food for thought. So next is going to be a Harper promo, which is very Bray Wyatt fashion. He says the demons he used to fight now help him as he now sees what true evil is. Great promo by Harper. I think Harper could be a main player in WWE. If they let him go and truly give him the push, he can be a main player in WWE. An upper mid-card monster. Harper would play that very, very well. Bray's going to have a promo right after Harper. He goes, "May the best man win tonight." Says everybody wants to hear what he has to say to the winner, but he won't be alone. He will be with his brother, his blood, Randy Orton. We're going to have a third interview. We're getting in Raw territory, folks. 3 straight backstage promos. They're lucky the first 2 were good. I won't shit on it entirely, but 3 in a row? That's an issue. Alexa Bliss blasts the interviewer for her first question being about Becky Lynch. She makes her ask about her being a 2-time title holder. She then gives the award ceremony speech, blah, blah, blah. Natty starts clapping loudly, interrupts the interview. She puts them both over, saying she's a great champ until she takes it from her, boops her on the nose, and then leaves. This segment was kind of trash, did nothing for anybody, and now they're introducing Natty into this. I have to see where it goes before I shit on it, but this came off as confusing. Honestly came off as, where the hell are they going with this? So, of course, next in the show was the Harper Styles match we already went over. So, another backstage segment. Another one. Cena and Nikki are going to have an interview, but they're cut off by Carmella and Ellsworth. Are you kidding me here? Are you fucking kidding me? We're still doing this. Carmella tries to get Ellsworth to go after Cena and Nikki. He kind of tries to roast him. He just is cringe and sounds stupid. It sets up a mixed tag match next week. The mixed tag at Mania is coming, folks. Just accept it. Accept the promo was good tonight, but accept it's coming. I'm not saying you're going to like it. I for sure as hell don't. But we got to accept it's coming. They really got to do Cena in this mixed tag instead of Cena Taker for Roman to get Taker. Something good better fucking happen with Roman and Taker. That's all I got to say about that. So they're going to have Ambrose and Hawkins next? Really, they're not. There's no match. Ambrose just comes out, dirty deeds, grabs a mic. He has some pretty bad jokes. Then he gets into learning a life lesson about getting pushed and prodded by Corbin. He then calls out Corbin. Corbin comes on the Tron and says, "Too bad I don't come to the ring when you tell me to." He says Dean is like a deer that he's going to run over. Says you love pain and I love dishing it, so you're in luck. I like how Corbin came off tonight. Again, sounds a little too scripted. I will give you that. He sounds a little too scripted. But if he can get that mastered, boy, Corbin's money. Corbin is money. Corbin then finishes off by saying he's going to take everything from Dean, from what Dean cost him. Dean costing him the WWE Championship. Dean warns Corbin to finish off the entire segment, not to start what he can't finish as a life lesson to Corbin. Nice little promo. I believe this is going to be a nice little rivalry going into Mania. And I believe these two can actually have a very good match. And I fully expect Corbin to be the Intercontinental Champion after WrestleMania. It just makes sense. So we go to the last match of the night. Apollo Crews versus Dolph Ziggler in a chairs match. Now Crews is going to start by attacking Ziggler during his entrance. A nice moonsault from Crews to Ziggler off the apron. But it's very hard to get invested in this match. The way they've treated Crews, the way they treated Ziggler after the heel turn, it was so hot when Ziggler kicked Jerry Lawler in the chest. And since then, basically nothing. So in reality, why do you care about these two? Why would this chairs match even really matter? The crowd's not into it. You're really not into it at home. So honestly, anything they do here is pretty much wasted. It was a decent little match for what it was. But again, if you don't care about the performers and you don't care about the match and you don't care about the story, why do anything with it? Why even invest your time? This was one of the things they could have cut even shorter than it was. like we talked about earlier with commercial breaks, and made this match shorter to leave one of the commercials off of the Becky Lynch-Mickie James match. But to finish this match, Ziggler does a drop toe hold on Cruz, hits his neck on top of the chair. He sells a throat injury. Ziggler, then I'm going to call this the nut bomb on top of the chair. 1, 2, 3. Ziggler wins. He talks trash. He leaves. Who gives a fuck? So we get to the last segment of the night. And I needed to go over Luke versus AJ before going over this. And we needed to start with Luke versus AJ because this is of the most importance, even more important than that. The Bray Wyatt invocation. Now, for those of you who don't know what invocation is, and I'm not trying to say anybody's stupid or anything like that, but for those who don't know, invocation is the action of invoking someone or something for assistance or as an authority. Keep that in mind. So Bray's going to start by saying it didn't matter who won because they're both mortals and something happens to a man when they stand in front of a deities. He says he is the spirit of Beelzebub himself. Randy all of a sudden comes on the Tron. He says, no, Bray, you're not. Randy is in the shed with the rocking chair. He says he got the keys to the kingdom. You gave me the keys to the kingdom. Says this is your world, Bray, but not mine and never was. The Randy Orton turn is being done in a very unique and special way. Says there was a time where he said if you can't beat him, join him. But his other saying is when you join him, screw him. Says underneath this floor and chair lies Sister Abigail, the soul of Sister Abigail, the remains of Sister Abigail. He grabs a big-ass pickaxe. They had shown little video clips of the dirt and the worms and the maggot. He's then going to Bray, how long has it been since the maggots and worm have been eating her flesh and bones? Bray is in the ring, helpless. He's freaking out. He's going to Bray, you're helpless and naked for the first time. I see you as this. He's going to burn the spirit of Sister Abigail to the ground. Bray at this point is kneeling in the ring, looking like he's going to be in tears, begging for this to stop. Randy then throws the pickaxe, grabs one gasoline canister, throws gas all over the shed where Sister Abigail is buried. He then pours the rest of it on the chair, gets another canister, pours more gas on the dirt. Bray at this point is inconsolable in the ring, freaking out, begging Randy to stop. Grabs a third canister, pours gas outside, leading to the shed. He lights a long match and sets it on fire while doing his pose. They go off a Smackdown with Bray freaking out, crying out, and then just sitting there, kind of rocking back and forth, inconsolable, not knowing what to do. Smackdown is off the air. So the Randy turn has happened. Randy was never under the Wyatt control. He broke the Wyatts up. He revealed what he did. And now he's got Bray right where he wants him. And he is going to WrestleMania with Bray. So the question now is what do they do with AJ Styles? AJ Styles tonight won a match to be the #1 contender. But Randy now is going after Bray. So what do? Do they make it a triple threat? Do they take AJ out of the match? With the way AJ and Shane went at each other tonight, and there have been rumors of this, but the way they went at each other tonight, you gotta believe they're gonna simply take AJ out of the match. Shane's gonna do it. Shane's gonna explain that Randy won the Rumble, and because Randy won the Rumble, and he never officially gave up his spot, Randy gets inserted back in, AJ's out. AJ has a problem with it. AJ goes after Shane. They agree to a match. You get Bray versus Randy like you had it all the time. The difference is they had you guessing for 3 weeks before they made it official. This storyline is the best thing going today. It is the best thing in WWE right now. Not everyone may agree with that, but it's the best fucking thing going today. Bray versus Randy now, to me, is the main event. I don't care about Goldberg and Lesnar. I care about Owens and Jericho. I care about Triple H and Rollins. But the best storyline right now, the one that needs to headline WrestleMania, is Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. It is a 7-month rivalry. It has been going since pretty much right after SummerSlam. A month after SummerSlam, this started. And it has gotten better and better and more intriguing and absolutely needs to be the headline match at WrestleMania. But leave me your comments down below. Maybe you disagree with me. Tell me in the comments what you think. Should this be the main event? Should AJ be in a triple threat with them? I know AJ versus Shane is not the match people want, and I agree with that. But think to yourself is this. AJ can have a good match with a broomstick. Shane's the guy that'll do crazy shit in a match. This is one of those things where you don't want the match, but after WrestleMania, you'll be talking about the match for weeks. Just my opinion. But that's going to do it for the SmackDown Live review. As always, let's go beast on that subscribe button. Let's go beast on that like button. And as always, guys, keep it beast.